Welcome back from the break, everyone. And of course, on our set today, we have Sumer Abro. Sumer is no stranger to our set. He's joined us a number of times. Thank you, Sumer.
Thank you.
And of course, it's the new year. So it's a double thank you.
Yes.
Because
so
it's a busy day. And a Happy New Year to you. And of course, Happy New Year to everyone else. Creativity. We've talked to many people on the set before about creativity and what it is. But what's your definition of creativity? And is it limited to the creative arts?
Okay. Yes, there are many definitions of creativity. One of our famous, renowned late artist, Bashir Mirza.
Yes.
Once I met him and he told me something very amazing. He said that, let's compare art with souvenir.
Okay.
So art is the maximum level of creativity, and souvenir is the zero level. Let's take Taj Mahal, for example.
Okay.
So Taj Mahal is, creation of creativity, innovation, and lots of thinking. And when you buy a souvenir, you're just copying the same thing. It's a clone. So it's like the zero level of creativity. Let's talk about organizations, for example.
Yes.
Lots of organizations think that creativity is just restricted to people working in media, show business, madhouses,
artists, musicians, actors, and so on.
People who allow the wandering of the mind. But it's not completely true. I think organizations who are into, let's say, mass production of things, consumer goods, they can also do with a bit of creativity. Out of the box thinking, it's been around for I don't know how many years. What it simply means in Urdu, zara hatke.
Yeah.
Different. For example, let's take gardening for an example. If I give you a plant, what would you do with it?
Stick it in the ground, plant it.
Stick it in the ground, right? Another way of doing it was to have a flower pot.
Yeah, we could do that. Put a flower pot too.
Yeah. So I mean that's the same thing, whole but outside. Yep. So that's the simplest example of out-of-the-box thinking. Right. There is more than one way of doing things.
There's always more than one way.
Solving problems. For example, let's take Ferrari.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay. Can I have one of those, please?
Yeah, sure. Me too. Order one for me. So Ferrari is work of art. Amazing. Limited editions. Not many people have them. So you look at Ferrari and you think, wow, that's creativity. That's the height of innovation. Now let's go to an extreme end. Ferrari. Now let's go to Honda 50. I don't know if you remember.
Yes, the little motorcycle. Yes, I do.
Honda 50.
Yes, I do. I remember them.
Nothing to it. A two-stroke engine, no clutch. But Honda was able to sell these, I think more than 40 million across the globe. And I was watching this show on Discovery and they had 10 greatest bikes. And Honda 50 was at number 3. So, I mean, you see creativity at both ends, Honda 50 was, thought of and then created, and then look at it, the mass production. So creativity is essential for any organization. It needs to be at the top, at the middle, and everywhere. Another example of out-of-the-box thinking, there was a professor in one of the universities. What he did was, he took his 4 engineering students, he took them close to a building, and he gave them a flashlight.
Good.
And said, okay, now go and measure the building. I want you to tell me the height of this building. So all engineers, into their scientific calculations and whatnot. So the first person says, okay, I'll go at the top of the building, throw the flashlight. The time it takes to, reach the ground, I'll note that time down.
And we'll do some complicated calculations and we'll figure it out through gravity.
Yes, but brilliant.
Newton's law. Okay,
one way to do it.
Okay.
The other guy said, that's too complicated. What I'll do is take the flashlight, sell it, buy rope and a measuring tape. So, I can measure the height of the building. So this other guy said, that's also a good idea.
Okay, we're getting better. We're getting better.
So the other guy said, okay, I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to the owner of the building, tell him that I'm going to give you this flashlight. Can you tell me how tall this building is?
When you're juggling 3 children and 20 different work schedules, homework schedules, it's not work schedules, homework schedules, and about 4 different meals because every child who's at a different age wants to eat a different thing at a different time of the day. The same solution applies. You've got to find something that's going to work for everyone. So you sort of make one batch of pasta and you've got the bolognese sauce with the keema, one without the keema, and then you've got the one with the cream sauce. But basically, the only extra work involved was the cream sauce because the pasta's the same anyway. You're going to make the bolognese anyway, so before you put the keema in, you just put some aside. So you've got to find ways to solve the problem. Keep it simple, I love that principle, keep it simple. And I shan't put the rest in after it comes out.
And what you just said makes a lot of sense also because, see, what you talked about was creativity.
Yes.
And then you put your ideas into practice, and that's innovation.
And I had to do this for my daughter. She came to me before she went to university and she said to me, I need a cooking lesson. I said, oh, what? You just woken up after 19 years, you need to cook? All right, fine, okay. And once we got, dispensed with the niceties, I said, what do you need to learn? She said, I want to learn keema. And I was like, well, okay. Students are usually on a pretty tight budget. And I said, if you buy 1 pound of keema, how many dishes can we get out of this? I said, 1 pound of keema. So I said, okay. I said, we'll start with onions and keema. Throw them all in the pan. I said, then you just divide them into 3. And I said, you do this with this bit, this with this bit, this with this bit, and you've got 3 different keemas, and you can freeze them all, and you can have them with either rice or bread.
Wow.
So that was my solution to the problem.
How do you remember all this?
I don't know.
It's
I have no
amazing.
idea. I don't know how I remember. It's a bit silly, really, isn't it? But I do.